As global trade tensions reach a boiling point in August 2025, a massive infrastructure project in South America is quietly reshaping the world's food supply chains. China's $285 million investment in Brazil's port of Santos is emerging as a pivotal force that could cost American farmers billions. With former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro under house arrest and Trump imposing 50% tariffs on Brazilian imports, affecting an estimated 55% of Brazil's exports to the US, a new geopolitical reality is taking shape. Chinese state-owned giant COFCO has poured $285 million into expanding the STS-11 export terminal at Santos, one of the world's busiest commodity hubs. The port of Santos handled a staggering 180 million tons of cargo in 2024, with over half tied to agriculture. Soybeans alone account for more than $50 billion in annual exports from Brazil, and roughly 30% flows through Santos. By 2026, the facility is projected to handle 14 million tons annually, up from the current 4.5 million tons. This expansion includes state-of-the-art logistics with rail integrations connecting directly to Brazil's fertile interior regions. COFCO has also committed $240 million to acquire rail wagons and locomotives, aiming to transport 70 to 80% of its Brazilian-sourced products through Santos. For U.S. farmers, the Santos terminal spells trouble. China has been a top buyer of American agricultural products, spending hundreds of billions over the past decade. But the 2018 trade war triggered a pivot. Beijing imposed retaliatory tariffs, leading to a temporary $27 billion drop in U.S. agricultural exports. Brazil has since overtaken the U.S. as China's primary food supplier. In 2023, Brazilian agricultural exports to China hit a record $60 billion. Meanwhile, U.S. soybean sales to China have declined, contributing to a projected $49.5 billion U.S. agricultural trade deficit in fiscal year 2025. Experts warn that facilities like STS-11 enable China to source more from Brazil, potentially costing U.S. farmers billions in lost revenue annually. With U.S. agricultural exports flatlining and deficits ballooning, calls for policy shifts grow louder. Brazil and China are already deeply intertwined. China is Brazil's largest trading partner, with bilateral trade exceeding $150 billion in 2024. New agreements signed in 2025 cover agribusiness, infrastructure, and sustainability, including commitments to deforestation-free soy supply chains. However, U.S. actions are pushing Brazil closer to China. In July 2025, Trump imposed 50% tariffs on many Brazilian goods, citing the prosecution of former President Jair Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro was placed under house arrest in August 2025, escalating the standoff between the two nations. Social media buzz highlights the divide, with some viewing tariffs as political revenge, while others see them uniting BRICS nations against U.S. policies. President Xi Jinping has positioned China and Brazil as models for global South self-reliance, with investments in green energy and technology. While the terminal boosts agricultural exports, it exacerbates Brazil's de-industrialization, one of the fastest globally. Over recent years, Brazil has ramped up raw material shipments to China, with 98% of exports being commodities, while importing manufactured goods. This imbalance has led to factory closures, job losses, and a shrinking manufacturing share in GDP. Yet Brazil is countering with new trade pacts and sustainability focuses to diversify its economic base. As 2025 unfolds, the Santos terminal could solidify Brazil's dominance in feeding China, pressuring U.S. farmers to seek new markets or government aid. Geopolitically, Trump's tariffs risk alienating allies, potentially strengthening BRICS ties and accelerating a multipolar world. In this evolving trade saga, infrastructure like COFCO's terminal isn't just about ports. It's reshaping alliances, economies, and the future of global food security. For the latest on U.S.-Brazil tariffs, Bolsonaro's trial updates, and China-Brazil trade relations in 2025, subscribe to Pulse News Alerts and stay informed on the evolving geopolitical landscape.